Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, Zero Likeness, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Child, I just heard some bullshit. Hey, Shaquila, speak to some more people. Child, I got to get this off my chest, y'all. Hey, Emmanuel. Ooh, child. Hey, Eyes on the Prize. Ooh, child. Hey, Judy. Child. I was just over to Catherine's. And I was just listening to her like I was up peeling around and shit around the house. And with her playing in the background. And she said the craziest shit a few minutes ago. She said that her kids got took from her because her son drunk poison. And she said that her mama is the one that gave it to him. She said her mama had the poison in the refrigerator, I guess in some water, and gave it to one of her kids. Now, I don't believe her mama did that because why would she move back? Now, she said it was like in 2007. So, 2007 and it's 2026 now. So, we're going to just say 20 years ago. Now, if your mama's so crazy that she poisoned your kid, why would you keep moving in with her throughout all these years? And why would your grown son be staying with your mama that was the poisoner? Why would he stay with her now? When she said that shit a while ago, my mouth flew wide open. Cause you need to shut the fuck up. You telling too much. God damn. And she said there's something about ZX. See, I don't watch ZX. Now, this might not be exclusive. It's exclusive for me, but I guess ZX might have said something about DHS or something. I don't know. Have y'all heard that? Did y'all, have anybody in here heard because they were poisoned? Have you heard about that? Anybody? Yeah, who keep poisoning the refrigerator? I'm just asking, have just put a capital yes or a capital no. Have anybody in this chat heard that before tonight? And she got on a suit, a compression suit, I guess, and it's from her neck all the, down her arms, like her down all the way to her whole body, and she keeps showing her body. Who could have that shit on all the time? She's I, now I'm sitting up here. I was just like, it's in the background because she just rambling, talking about stuff. church and mamas and getting evicted and giving out addresses of places that she been evicted out of in the last 10 years. She been evicted out I don't know how many places. And she's saying the church is the preacher is getting her evicted out of all these places. And then either she put out today that her mama, this last time she got put out, that her mama got put her mother, it was the emergency eviction. And let me tell y'all what it's called. Let me make this damn thing big so I can tell y'all the goddamn shit that I've been sitting up here with my mouth goddamn wide open. Okay, fuck. There's some bullshit in there. She needs to shut the fuck up. This shit getting worse and worse and worse. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ooh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, that a poison stuff. Let me see. Oh, her mother got a protection of abuse. In that order, she can't go back to her mama house, period, because that order is good until December of this year, because this just happened like in May. Yeah. And see, I've been listening to her for well, actually, ever since, well, actually, I've been listening to her for years because when I first noticed Catherine Powell in the beef sector was years and years ago. And I think she hit Pastor's Live and introduced herself and who she was and stuff. And she was saying something about um, the church was stealing like her ideas, like what she's saying now. She was saying back then, and she said that she was in the process of writing a book, and she was gonna tell it all. And then she said like one of her sons, she had like when she was like a teenager, and it was allegedly by the pastor of the church that she was going to as a teenager. And then it was like rambling and stuff, and she was saying that the pastor took her ideas for a like a homeless place that you can like feed people and this and that, and you can get grants for that kind of stuff. I mean big grants. And like giving people money for lights, giving people money for rent, helping a person get, like a homeless person getting on their feet, getting them an apartment. They have programs like that, and the government will. It's like a non-profit, and the government have funds that the churches and stuff can apply for to get these projects going or to keep them going. Well, she said that pastor back when I first laid eyes on her, back then she was saying that, and the man had took her ideas, and he started an outreach program. And see, I guess this is the same pastor that she messing with now. When she walked up in the church the other week with her pink outfit on that she keep talking about, and then she had said when she came back this time, like what she first started talking about this shit this time, like being on it really heavy like she is now, it was over at Pastors again this time. and she was talking to him about it. And Pastor done heard this 50, 11 times from her, and that's why it was like he wasn't he. You know how you could be listening and not listening, like I was just doing when I heard this shit about the kid getting poisoned. He got the patient of Job. I couldn't have did this shit with her all these years, but he have done it, and dealt with her with patience and stuff. But here she come on his panel because Brian was up there talking to him about something. It was some with him and him and Honest Roy, or one of them. They was talking about that, and she broke into their conversation and she said, "Honey, what I got to talk about is better than any storyline over here in the beef sector. I got the biggest story." And then she started going into how she had went to the church and rejoined, and she was supposed to have gotten baptized, but they didn't have her in the list, and she was upset about that. And she said that she went to the church, back to the church, because she wanted the pastor to know she was having surgery, and she wanted to meet one on one with the pastor, but whoever she talked to, they didn't let her do that. Because I guess he has so many people, because they say he got like 20,000 members or more. So he don't have time like one on ones. They have like assistant pastors and mothers and stuff like that to do the small stuff, you know. But this come to find out, this church had a stalking order put out on her like a couple of years ago, and I think it was for like 3 years. So why would you bust up in there and rejoin that church again just because they moved to another location? You still need to stay away from that church. And she also said, because I've been making notes throughout this thing with her, the root of the problem is that she asked them for $400 because she was well, on the brink of being homeless or either homeless. And she asked that part of the church that help the homeless people, she asked them to give her $400. And they did not give her the $400. And she said that they be bragging about how they go to different countries and help out, the people that's poor over there in different countries. You giving millions of for that. You couldn't give me $400. It's, and I guess when they didn't give her that $400, she kept worrying them folks, and then they had to put that stalking out on her. She also said that the secretary of the church felt in danger from her because she would, like, I guess, go up there and demand that the lady do whatever she wanted to do, and or whatever. I demand to speak to the preacher. I don't know what she was doing. She was doing something where she got some stalking on her. And she keeps saying another thing. She keeps saying, if you hear or listen to her, she's talking about, I didn't get no, I didn't get served. I ain't been to court. I ain't did this. I ain't did that. And they ain't got nothing on me. Well, see, that the people that docks in the beef sector, that gave them the ammunition to go to this church. You done gave the name of the church. You done gave the preacher. You done talking about different people in the church names. Then Ghetto know the preacher, the one that the mega preacher, he's frat brothers with him. And see, Ghetto was gonna talk to the man about it, and I believe Ghetto still is because this is alarming. That man might not even know that she tripping of getting locked up. You need to stop. Your mind is racing. You need to go to the mental hospital. And then when people tell her that she need to talk to like a psychiatrist, she'll when you only different kind of, she's like, oh, you're saying I'm crazy? That's not saying you crazy. Just because you go talk to a psychiatrist, you crazy when you don't go, when you're not when you acting out like she's doing. Okay, now see, she had been in this hospital, and evidently while she was there, she let them know don't have nowhere to go when they release me. So now they're in the process because she's indigent. Her mama done put her out by the police for being some kind of abuse. She said, them her words, not mine. So, like at the hospitals and stuff, they have a person, like they come to you about billing, your insurance and stuff like that. They have people, like if you're indigent or you homeless, they'll try to place you somewhere if they can. But one thing I'll let everybody know that's in this United States that we call America, when it's time for them to put your black ass out of there, wherever you at, they don't say I can't put you out of this hospital because you homeless. They don't say I got to send you over here to this rehabilitation place until we can get you placed. When your time is up, I don't care what kind of fucking surgery you done had. I don't give a fuck if you on chemo or whatever. When that clock up at that goddamn place, it's time for you to go. They do it every day. The only thing that the restrictions on if you're homeless, if you go to that hospital and they don't see you, then you got something to talk about. You got a problem. You can report that because that's against the law. But as far as after they medically treat your black ass or white ass or yellow ass, once they treat you and they done all that they medically supposed to do for your black ass, when they discharge you, that doctor, you got to get the fuck off the premises. They don't give a fuck if you walk. They don't give a damn if you catch an Uber. They don't give a fuck if somebody in your family come get you. They don't give a fuck if your man come get you. Your time is up. Don't nobody owe you nothing in this what we call the US of A. Now, what you need to do, since you gave all them different address, it's a problem somewhere, and your problem is not that goddamn preacher, cause a preacher can't get nobody put out of nothing. If you paying your goddamn rent, a preacher can come tell your landlord they ain't gonna put you out. It's some big writing this goddamn book for years. You said this 10 motherfucking years ago. Cause you said this, it's been when I noticed your black ass in the B sector, you hit the pastor channel, and that was years ago. You said you was an author and that you was going to write this explosive book. Why did you show that construction book tablet you got in your room? You had like 4 goddamn lines on there. How is that writing a motherfucking book? And smell the goddamn coffee. I ain't want that coffee you got. That's some guy. But I'm gonna sit here and keep listening to you tell your life's poison. You need to shut the fuck up, or you need to start writing this motherfucker. She immediately wrote her book and she published it already. And it's been less than a year since she found out she had HIV. Well, I don't know when she actually found out, but I found out about it when she announced it in the Mo 3 sector less than a year ago. So it's been published, been published. So what's the problem? Why come it's taking all these years? Because I remember you years ago when you came here to the B sector with the same fucking story. When you came to the beef sector years and years ago and hit the pastor's panel, you was talking about this book. Now, why the fuck you ain't wrote it? You had showed that composition notebook a while ago, and you had like 4 fucking lines, and you were saying, "Oh, was them actually ideas?" Diva Tomboy showed you to do that the other day. You just got 4 goddamn lines. This some you is full of bullshit. Your mama didn't poison your kids because she would have got put in jail. Your son wouldn't be living with your mama because if she poisoned him, and if she poisoned him, I know you told him, hey, my mama tried to kill you. So I would suggest you don't eat none of who she got or drink none of she got because she's a goddamn fool. She put water in the refrigerator that had poison in it. Bitch, girl, hey, you need to shut the fuck up. Well, this is a goddamn shame. Now, kids, sometimes they accidentally, drink stuff to get them, poison them and stuff. That's why they don't make all these chemicals that we keep under the sinks and stuff. That's why they make them where they taste so nasty. You see what I'm saying? And back then, when her children were small, it was all kind of toxic shit people kept in their house and outside under your carport, poisons and stuff for outdoors and cleaners for your insides. But honey, your mama ain't poisoned your child. Your mama ain't put that uh adult abuse shit on you the other in May for nothing. You was in that house talking to that woman crazy, and you done bristled up to her. And when I say bristle up, I mean like run at her or something. Or either you put your motherfucking hands on your mama and she's scared of you. Or the tone of your fucking voice, she's scared of you. I've seen it before. And your parent, my mother, none of us never bristled up to our mother. She wasn't scared of us. It never crossed our mind. We didn't get smart with mama. Once you and hey, once we were angry at what she was saying to us, immediately storm out. We would wait till it be a lag in her conversation. Quietly, exit slowly. You see what I'm saying? Not storm out the house and slam the door. We didn't do shit like that. Nobody on us. Because we treated my mother with the utmost respect. She would have never told a preacher on us. And the preacher, he would believe it if she told us, if she, our preacher would have never done nothing like you saying this man did. And if he's so bad, why you keep taking your black ass in that man church? If he's such a devil like you say he is, that would be the last place I step my goddamn foot in. Because this den of demons over here. And I don't want to put my pink dress on and walk down the middle of the motherfucking aisle so everybody can goddamn see me. So you want to walk into hell? Is that what you letting everybody know? That you want to walk into the gates of hell willingly? Is that what you telling us, Catherine? Because I'm just going on I'm going on your conversation. If all these people in that motherfucking church is so goddamn bad and evil, like you say they are, that's a deep gates of hell just to walk in there with your pink dress on. Bitch, you lied. I can't get it no plainer than that. That's nuts. And I hope you listening to me. This is my goddamn. I don't know you anyway, and you don't know me. And like you get on your channel and talk that bullshit, your the dark past of the poisoning, I'm gonna be that right there to listen to it. And when you say some wild, crazy ass shit, I'm gonna run my black ass acceptable way. Uppity might not have known no better, but Catherine, you know better with that poisoning. You know better. Uppity might not have known no better. Okay? But she had enough goddamn sense that they didn't get poisoned. And you didn't say it was an accident. You said your mama did it. Why you didn't tell the police your mama did it? You say I ain't got no sound? Okay, Viber, do I have sound now? Do I have sound? Wait a minute. Do I have sound? I think I'm having computer problem. I think I'm having computer problem. Can y'all hear me now? But it's just some crazy, wacky tacky stuff. Wait a minute. Can y'all hear me? If y'all can't hear me, I'm gonna just go out. I might come back and I don't know. But honey, I got the main part, I'm sure, out of what I was talking about. Okay, yeah. A lot of this shit don't make no sense. And like I said, the more she talk, the worse it get. You know, you didn't just start having problems in your life. Or the church ain't doing this to you, and if they did, you need to. If you're gonna sue them. You know, whatever you could do legally, go on and do it. But other than that, shut the fuck up, okay? Cause the church ain't following you on no goddamn train. You ain't that important. It's people more important, got more shit going on for that church than you. Say it. His wife ain't jealous of you, like you saying that he trying to make his wife jealous. Them people they ain't studying you. That man ain't studying you, and his wife ain't studying you. Okay, they're not studying you. You know he got 20,000 other people that he can fuck with. He ain't got to fuck with you because you disturb you're a destruction. You're a distraction. You know, with the way you acting on YouTube, I could imagine what you act like when you at that church. You know, ain't no telling what you do. Ain't no you probably walk the aisle the whole time. And you might be talking or shouting, acting like you shouting because you want everybody to see you. Uh you might be making a big deal out of nothing on everything that the decision making that goes on in the church. You see what I'm saying? You could be a distraction. They don't need no distraction. They about business. They about getting more people to heaven. They want more people to get in that church. He trying to talk people, teach people how to get to heaven. He ain't trying to teach nobody about writing no book. He not stealing none from you. You know, and you keep talking about the laptop or the laptops. You said that you did not give that laptop to that man. You gave them laptops because I listened to you very carefully. You gave your laptops to somebody else to give to him. You see what I'm saying? I've listened to the conversation that you've been having on this issue throughout the years, and you have actually not really talked to this man because you can't get to him. It's too many people blocking you from getting to him. But if you wasn't acting so out of control, you might be a person that he could talk to. But the way you have acted, the disruption you have caused in the church, you're never gonna. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't meet with you with 10 people with me, because he don't know what you'll do. You know, and like I said, if you ain't gonna sue the man, because he not studying you. He ain't got to. He don't have to meet with you so he can apologize or you can apologize or whatever the fuck went on. He ain't gonna apologize to you for nothing. He's not gonna meet with you for nothing. It is what it is. I can't be no damn plainer than that. Leave them church folks alone. They had a 3-year stalking where you couldn't go around them, and that shit done expired, and now you want to show out again. You can't even go back to your mama. You can't even talk to her to December. You over there got to complain about the food at the hospital or wherever you at, They have a dietitian that assign each meal for each patient in that hospital. If you on such a strenuous of that diet, you need to talk to somebody else that ain't never been in no hospital before. You know, you just didn't want what they was feeding you. And you seem to have a problem. About your cash app had a problem with it. Then people start. Then you lie like you used to have one, and you was going on hold, acting like you was making up another one. But when they start sending money to the cash app you gave them over there at Bizarro's the other day, you been had that when you was acting like you was making a cash app. See, you sneaky. That's the main thing that's wrong with you, Catherine. You biting your nose off to spite your face. You you actually cutting your nose off to spite your face. It is what it is. You fighting your blessings. You know, is something wrong somewhere that you having all these obstacles in your life, being the age that you are, and you don't supposed to have no drinking problem, no alcohol problem. Why come you can't keep nowhere to live? I'm not gonna baby you. I ain't gonna never have to talk to you. But I'm gonna listen to you, and when you drop a bomb like you dropped a couple of minutes ago about that poison and shit, I'm gonna come right over here and hit my live button like I did just a minute ago, and I'm gonna talk about it. But you need to shut the fuck up because you are looking trifling. I'm trifling, child. When you said that shit, now the other shit you've been saying, I be saying, damn, 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 damn. But on this one, I had a big old damn. Cause your story getting worse and worse and worse. But you told Jay Wilson that day, you said, "Oh, ain't nobody what Brian them talking about. My story, honey. What I got to say, you was doing that thing, and you have been you getting the attention that you wanted, baby girl. But honey, you giving people so much ammunition, Catherine. They gonna fire this shit at you. You just giving them more bullets. You giving them bullets after bullets to put in their gun. And honey, they gonna tear your black ass up. Will you please shut the fuck up? Please. Please. Because these people on YouTube don't care nothing about you. They're gonna run your ass crazy like Lemon, like he going crazy. Lemon is going crazy. He's talking about this is too much for him. He's talking about mental, and he's saying stuff like that. And why be on this motherfucker that got you acting like this? Y'all letting YouTube run you motherfucking crazy. It don't make no goddamn sense. Lemon having breakdowns and shit. Just crazy. I be just sitting up and I be saying, damn. And let people dog you out, and then you go back and kiss their ass, lick the shit out their asshole to be their friend, and get mad because somebody make up with somebody. This is crazy. This and I love this crazy shit. But Catherine, please hush. You gonna make they gonna just dig into everything in your life. They're gonna be trying to contact your kids. They're gonna be trying to contact your mama and your sisters and brothers. Stop it, girl. You giving out too much stuff. You giving out the address of the old landlords where you used to live. Full of names. You gonna getting ready to get people to harass that ain't got. They probably don't even know your name. Actually, some of these people. They done been calling to the church Rico and get ZX. I don't know who else been calling down to the church already. But when you sit up on lemon panel one night, it was late over in the night, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Goosey, that's when he was hanging around over there. You was up there talking about, I think the man that preacher you got pregnant about or something, and that he was dead. Goosey doxed that man right then when she said that, the man name. Goosey pulled out the man obituary and started saying stuff that was on the man obituary, just like that. And then when I seen that, I said, "Oh shit, it's finna go down." And it's been getting worse and worse and worse. They say a woman from the church went over there to pastors. People been dropping in the chats, putting shit in these chats. People been calling down to the church house. It's gonna, it's I this don't make no sense, y'all. But since I'm on here, let me get my number in the YouTube land. Okay, now I'm gonna just throw on my notes because I got Catherine up here at the top. I'm gonna just briefly go through what I talked about earlier in case I was on mute when y'all couldn't hear me. Okay, now the thing I had put down on here, because ZX and a couple other people had doxed her, and they found out that the church had like a 3 year, like a stalking order against Catherine. Um, so she couldn't go around them or talk, to the church people or anything for 3 years. Um, well, for some reason, Catherine went back to the what? See, the protector, that stalking stuff is over. That's old. Well, recently, Catherine has went up to the church, rejoined, and she wanted to be baptized. And she wanted to, because every church had a different language. Uh, Wait a minute. My notes kind of mixed up. It calls a giving the hand or something like that. I don't go. I'm not in that religion because they use different language than my religion do. Wait a minute. Join the church. Right hand to fellowship. She was supposed to have done that. Well, see, my church don't do that. But like I say, every church have different doctrine. Okay. Well, she was supposed to do that and get baptized, but they did not put her on the list of the people to get baptized. I guess they figured out, oh, that's that lady that we had put stock on. Or somebody, probably, how the church is. Their gossip went through there. Somebody seen her when she joined that church and knew her. So that got put, they when she went back to the church before the baptism, they made her leave. The deacons walked up to her, and told her, "You got to get up out of here. The, we don't want you here." Well, she was pissed off about that. She was pissed off because she couldn't get baptized and all of that, and plus to do the fellowship. And then she said she wanted to talk to the preacher because I think she wanted him to apologize to her about something that was done back in the day. when that stalker shit come up and he supposedly stole her ideas, she wanted him to make amends with her over that. Well, then she said that she wanted to, she changed the story. Then she said she wanted to let the pastor know that she was having surgery and she wanted to, I guess him to pray for her. I don't know what she wanted for that man. Then she said some old woman, like 90 some years old, had called her and told her, "You need to make amends with the pastor. I think it's time, enough time has passed. Y'all need to make amends. I suggest that you go up to him and whatever." Well, that didn't work. Then she said that she called the old woman. It's just so much bullshit. You can't. She contradicts herself so much, and then when you asked her for clarity, she gets smart. I done said this 100 times. How many more times I got to say this? Like when people asked her because they not clear on what she's saying, because her story changing from pound to pound to pound. It's from when she talked about it with Jay Wilson the other week before it got out here like running rapid on YouTube. This is the story she telling today is not the story she told at the beginning. It's to grow legs. It's going on and on and on and on and on. She wasn't talking about evictions and stuff like that when she was first started talking to Jay Wilson the day at Brian's when Brian was over there. When she interrupted them and wanted to talk about her story. It has grown legs. It's going everywhere now. So every time, like I say, all these panels she getting on is changing every panel she get on. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and she can't keep up with what she has been saying in the past. That's why I say her mind is racing because she should be able to tell you in the order. And if it's the truth, her story shouldn't change every time she telling the story. The story should be the same. You should know what the events that happen. You should know the order of these events that happen in your life. That's on anybody. If you don't want to tell it right, don't tell it at all because it's some lies being told. And that's why people are going at you, Catherine, because the shit ain't making no sense. And you can't keep blaming your mama and the church and stuff for you being evicted. You doing this to yourself. Because if you have a mental problem, disability, you could get a check for that. And that should be enough for you to survive on, where you don't have to worry about getting put out and all of that. It's something wrong. It's something wrong somewhere. And then going back now today, you going back to your sons talking about when they was taken away from you. So there has been turmoil and issues in your life for a long time. You need to listen to somebody. I don't care who it is, because it's too late to listen to your mama and all of that, because you're not going to listen to your mama because you don't respect her. Is there anybody in your life that you could talk to that know you to try to that'll listen to you? But I suggest you go to a therapist, somebody that's trained, somebody that's not going to judge you, so you can get all of this shit out. If they give you avenues of things, other things to try, maybe listen to somebody. Everybody ain't against you. When people tell you, "Well, have you tried this?" And Brian was even trying to help you that day over there at the pastor, because you wasn't listening to the pastor. He was telling you in a nice way, "Leave them church people alone. Why don't you go worship somewhere else? This and that. If they giving you that much of a problem, just stay away from them folks." He been talking to you like that for years. And so evidently you're not listening to him. But you went to him. You made that video about when you had that fight on that train. You remember Pastor told you to take that shit down. And you took it down, but now you're blaming him for taking it down. Put it back up if you want to put it back up. But there's some issue. You're spiraling right now, and hopefully you don't spiral until you wind your ass in jail. Okay, like I said, you got to try to think about what you're gonna do when you get out of that hospital or that rehab or wherever you at, because them people ain't gonna keep you that long. Now, the longest I know that they'll keep you, that the government, Medicaid, or whatever will pay for, is 30 days. And that's what the doctors, them doctor in the account, the doctor in the paper, so you stay in there doing the little rehab stuff. But when you're 30, if you haven't figured some shit out within this 30 days, you're going to be out on your ass. So you need to start thinking about what the fuck you going to do and hope you got 30 days to to rectify your situation, because you can't just live there. You got to immediately, like that money that piece of them raised for you. And you said you had money in the bank. You said that tonight. You said, I got money on Cash App and I got money in the bank. You need to be looking for somewhere to live, because as it stand now, the way it looks is you don't have nowhere to go. You gonna wind up back in a shelter. I'm that's just the facts. I can't the baby it down, because you a grown woman. You know it ain't no reason to dumb it down. Like I said, you got less than, and it is what it is. When that doctor discharge you, you got to get out that rehab. And like I said, Medicaid and stuff, you need to pull it up on in your state, can keep you. You know, it ain't like you down an invalid, that you can go to the nursing home. It ain't like you down like that. You're not down. You up walking around. And you moving around real good, because I was watching how you was jumping up, walking and stuff. You not sore from your surgery. You getting around good. And you got that suit on you walking around in, which I don't know, ain't nowhere in the world I can have all that shit on. I know it's hot. It's a compression suit for your whole body. That's what she walking around in over there, that rehab on. Yeah, I don't know. I know I couldn't walk around in that shit all day. Uh-uh. You ought to be going through menopause and stuff. How can you keep that shit on? Because you at menopause age. Going through the chain, unless you had a hysterectomy. That's the only way you ain't going through the chain at your age. And I don't know how you keeping that shit on unless you had a hysterectomy. You know, it is what it is. We human. But y'all, it's crazy. I couldn't live like that, just in turmoil. Hey, Sugar Shay. Hey, Pam. Yeah, I'm so serious. I'm just tripping. Try to speak to some more people. Hey, the bushes. But y'all, if you haven't subscribed to Catherine, she is a new content creator. Go over there and subscribe to her. That's the name of her channel. It's Catherine Powell. But my mouth was wide. My mouth was like, what? Hey, outspoken. Hey, I mean outside. I thought that was outspoken. Hey, outside. Hey, Octavia. Octavia's Catherine. I don't know if you're still in here. She said on her live earlier for the people that wasn't in here that when her little boys was small, because they grown men now, that her mama had poisoned them. They gave her some water with poison in it, and it was in the refrigerator, and her kids got taken from her. Now, I'm thinking that maybe they was an accidental poison. I'm praying that's what it was. And I don't believe her mother gave it to her children because her mama would have got thrown under the jail. And if Catherine would have gave it to her children, they would have thrown her black ass under the jail. I think it was like an accidental poison. Because if you don't watch your kids good and they get into shit or hurt themselves or whatever, we see it every day on the news, wander off or shit like that, or get in poison, they'll take your kids from you and make you go through parenting classes and shit like that. She let that out a little while, about an hour ago on her live, and I was like, what? And you go and if your mama crazy enough to poison them, like this was years ago when they were small, because they grown men now. Why would you keep taking your kids around your mama and she dangerous like that? Why would you live in the house with her? Because you gotta eat. When you live with people, people just you roam and you eat. Hell, she might poison up everything in the house if she was a poisoner. So why would you keep moving in with her? Why is your grown son living with her now? If she was a danger like that, so Catherine, no, that woman ain't did that. You need to stop that lie. And she also, when her mother evicted her in May, her mother had, now she's saying the pastor had something to do with it, but her preacher had nothing to do with that. And she said her mama don't even go to the same church that she go to. So the pastor ain't got no reason to be contacting the mama to do nothing to Catherine. But she said that the pastor is the reason that her mama had her evicted. Well, when the police the claim like it was emergency eviction because the mama felt in danger. There was some form of like elderly abuse going on. I don't know if it was yelling, pushing, or hitting. It was something like that going on. And that emergency that she can't go around her mama until December. If she can't move back in with her mom. She can't do nothing because they have sometimes they can do emergency stuff. And on this eviction that her mama did on her in May, it was due to her mama being scared of her, or either Catherine had put her hands on her mama, pushed her or something, or frightened her. And see, her mama went down, I guess, to the jail or whatever she did. And the judge gave her an emergency eviction, and the police came and put her out. And see, she has been getting evicted out of places for years and years and years. This ain't just started, you know. And it was a blessing her mother had let her move in with her. You know, that's a blessing. And Catherine, if your mama ever do let you move back in her house, you need to rules. That's her house. She run the rules. She makes the decisions. If she tell you to go to your room, you're gonna have to go to your room. That's her house. You know, if she tell you don't eat I've got this in here. Do not eat that. Don't eat that. Don't eat that. If you got your TV too loud, turn it down. If you talking too loud on the phone and it's disturbing your mama, it's her house. She make the rules. You can't make no rules unless you move to your own spot. That's just as plain as I can get it. Your mom can be as mean as a snake if she want to. She being a snake in her own house. You know your mama better than anybody. You was raised around her. You know her moods. She birthed you. You know what she like and what she don't like. Evidently, you're doing things in her home that she don't like for her to put you out. Don't be saying she a helicopter mama and got to know everything. And don't you are not a child. When you know you ain't a child. But when you stand in your parents' house, you got to do what the fuck they say do. I can't get in no plane in there. Can't no if you had your own shit, could anybody come in your house acting any kind of way? Could people be in your house doing things that you don't want done in your house? It's the same way with your mom. And like I said, you know your mama. And just like your mama know you. And if you don't like the rule, stay your ass out over there. She shouldn't have to put you out. You should be ready to go. You know, why live in misery? So it ain't what you saying don't make ain't making no sense because you a grown ass woman. You know, you grown and stop blaming everybody for your problem. You bringing this shit on your goddamn self. You making your life harder than it need to be. It shouldn't be all this confusion being a lady of your age. You know, and it ain't always their fault. You blaming everybody except you. You know, just buckle up and be a woman. You know, it ain't the pastor fault. It ain't the church fault. He ain't got people following you. It ain't your mama fault. It ain't nobody fault. You know, it's life. That's what we call it. Life. And your life ain't no harder than nobody else. If I didn't tell them my business, I'd be homeless. It is what it is. You worrying about what the pastor driving. He got a Tesla and he got a Hummer. That ain't your goddamn business. Try to get you one. You know, try to get you one. Try to get you a big old house. You know, do what it take to get these things. I'm sure your mama worked hard all her life. You know, this is her golden year. You know, and what you're not making it golden for her, but something is wrong. You know, let me see. I'm trying to SB smoke. Wait a minute. I don't know what that say. SBTOOBOUIE. I don't know what that is. Well, how you doing? I don't know your name, child. You say you love your mama and you too spoiled. My mama spoiled all of us. You see what I'm saying? All of us. Now the younger me and my brother, baby brother, we the spoiledest because we the youngest. But all of us got us cars, got whatever could do, she did for us. You know what I'm saying? She loved us. Don't none of us talk about our mama. That's crazy. And like I said, we gave her utmost respect and still respect her even though she's not here anymore. We might not have did what she always wanted us to do because we grown and we made our own decision. But she tried to make it easier for us along the way. So our adult, going from a child to adulthood wasn't so hard. She tried to make it as easy for us as possible. Okay? And that's the way it is. That's the way I was raised. And that's how we do. We love each other. We want to boost each other. Some of us might need a little more help than others, or might need a little help with your children. You know what I'm saying? I may not be able to afford this, but my child want it. You know, and we'll pitch in. To make it where you know help with vehicles, help with rent, help with whatever we could do, so they don't be out there in the world have to get it. We try to make it easier, not just like a bird nest on the ground. No, you got to do things for yourself. But if we can make it help you along, that's how we do each other in the family. Okay, but I don't understand how your mama getting up in '70s and '80s and have to put you out. No, my brothers and sisters would have a it would be a killing if my mama felt in danger from one of us. We would get rid of the problem. It wouldn't be no police and nothing here with the family to take care of that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-mm. Never put a hand on her. Never make, no, no talking back. You know, even when we didn't like what she was saying, jump out the house and slamming. Oh, no, slam her what? No, we'd hear her out. You know, but, mm-mm. I ain't got nothing bad to say about my mom. You know, and she raised us the best she could, and she didn't. Mm-mm, no. And you shouldn't be on here talking about your mama like you've been talking about her. She might be going through dementia. You ever thought about that? She could be going through dementia. You know, that happens sometime with your parents. They change sometimes. When they're going through dementia. You know, but she ain't. I'll tell you one damn thing. She ain't got dementia, so that she don't know how to go down that goddamn police station. She ain't got dementia that bad. She know how to go down there and tell them folks she wants you out her house. Catherine, your mama ain't got no dementia. You can't don't bring that up. Okay, I put that dementia shit out there. But hey, your mama ain't got dementia so bad that she don't know how to go down that goddamn police station and tell them to get you up out of her shit. Girl, blood pressure. And your mama don't even go to your church. You the one picked that pastor. She didn't pick that pastor. And you want to put it on her. Don't put that on her. Don't put that pastor on your mama. Cause that ain't her pastor. That's your pastor that you picked that nigga. And now you want to blame your mama for listening to that man. That man ain't studying your mama. That ain't your mama pastor. Catherine girl, bye. Like I said, you ain't never got to like me because I don't know you and you don't know me. You just another person on YouTube that's telling all your damn business. And like I said, I don't know what ZX pulled up on her because she was saying a while ago, yeah, just pull it up. You can pull it up. So I don't know if he talked about the poisoning because I don't go over the ZX channel. But tonight was my first time hearing it, honey. And I was saying, what? Girl, you need to shut up. You don't open up a big old can of worms and you started giving the people ammunition. I'm just saying, you giving people too much ammunition to use on you. And you know how they hold on shit in the beef sector, in these other sectors too. They hold on to shit. They'll put it over your head, you know, to kingdom come. If they still talking about them still talking about Vegas, what you think they gonna these folks on here gonna talk about with your situation? Catherine, you've been on here a long time. You've been getting by smooth. And you done made it where you finna have a rough time on YouTube and for nothing. You know, for nothing. I don't get it. These folks gonna eat your ass up. The church folks and the people that ain't in church. Cause they say it's all over there in that church sector. And see, I don't know why come she was over there and have gotten booted to the beef sector. I don't know. And I really don't care, but now them people over there gossiping about it. It ain't just in the beef sector, it's all over. So honey, everywhere she go, they gonna know her. You know, I don't. She done gave people too much ammunition, and that, like I said, that what she gave out tonight was a lot. That was a whole lot. Cause I wasn't even paying no attention, y'all. I'm up moving around, and I said, "What?" And I ran over here and tried to hit my little live button, and I had, "Hey, Brown Beauty World, welcome. Hey, Angela. Wait a minute, Angel Kia, Angelica. I think that's somebody put poor Catherine. I'm looking at the notes now, y'all. And I think that was the main things on Catherine because I've been making notes, child, for days on what. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Now Catherine did. She went live a couple of days ago, and she drew a ghetto. That's when it come. Ghetto was saying, "Hey, he my frat brother, and I'm gonna talk to him because I don't even think he know." Like the pastor, he was saying, "I don't even think he know all this is going on." And when Ghetto was saying that, it made a big old ripple through the sector because it got turned around like Ghetto was gonna like feel the not tell the man the right information or some shit like that. Uh but Ghetto might need to talk to the guy and tell him, hey man, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with him letting the man know what's going on YouTube. His name being drug over here. you know, and he being accused of stuff. I think a person should know when somebody accusing them of stuff. Why hide it? You're gonna write a book about it, so it ain't gonna be like a big secret. And she was talking about something that, she was doing the church gossip, like, churches have gossip. But she was saying something about the preacher sending a lady like to what it damn, like it's a place like where the rich people go. Nantucket or somewhere like that. That he sent like this lady there that's not his wife. And I was saying, to see that, you being really messy, but if that man didn't do that, you out here spreading stuff. So how would you know he sent her there? Actually. But it don't matter. I ain't getting there because that man married. I ain't gonna put nothing out like that with that man because I don't know that man. But she started leaking stuff like that. So I think what her book will be of is like a lot of stuff, you know, gossip that she heard throughout her years at the church. You know, but you have to be kind of careful, Catherine, because it could be slander. But I don't think they'll sue you, Catherine, because you don't have anything. It will be a waste of time. Um, I don't think they're gonna get you for defamation or slander or anything like that. But like I said, it'll be a waste of time. You don't have anything of value that for them to take from you. Because you keep talking about take me to court, sue me, dude. They ain't gonna do that. The only way they're gonna take you back to court is if you start back stalking. Which like I said, they told you to stay away from the church less than 30 days ago. So as long as you stay away from them, I think you'll be fine. But I don't care if they change buildings again. Do not go back to them people church captain. Find you a whole nother church. Because there's a whole bunch of them in your state. And then she was saying too earlier that she want that pastor to give her a house. And she wants to pick out the house. She don't want any house. She wanted to be a house of her choice. Girl, that pastor ain't gonna buy you no house. If he was gonna buy you a house, he would have bought you a house a long time ago to get rid of you. And I don't know why you on here saying the only thing he gonna get buy me a house. He is not gonna buy you no house. Okay? And you say that the pastor is using you to make his wife jealous. And she say that this been going on for 10 years. So I don't know if he's saying Catherine a fine woman to his wife or how he doing this when he don't even talk to you. How is he using you to make his wife jealous? I don't get it. Okay. And she went back to like the dates of like in 22. She said on November 28th, 22, she was kicked out of her apartment. And she keeps saying like different dates and different addresses of apartments and houses that she had been evicted from. She's saying that the pastor had got her evicted out of all them places, and it was a lot. Okay, and Cruiser had her to come over to her channel. Uh, it's been about 4 or 5 days ago, and when Cruiser wanted just try to get it settled down about her how she was talking about the pastor of this big church. She was trying to ask what the problem is, and Catherine was bouncing all around, and Cruiser just got tired of it and quit the interview. It was like an hour and a half. You can go over to Cruiser channel. You can see that. If you want to see her interaction with the pastor, Jay Wilson, you can go to his channel. You can see the interaction she had with Pizarro. If you go to Pizarro's channel, you can see the interaction with Lemon. They say she went to St. James channel. YouTube cameras. She been everywhere. I don't know if she been over to Binaries or Shakim's yet. I don't know, and I don't. I think she been to Rodney's and Ness. So she been all around. That's all you we hearing in the beef sector, and but the beef sector. I'm speaking for me. I'm confused, and like I said, and why now? Because you come to the sector talking about this stuff years and years ago. What happened to make you go back to the church to get put out again? What what happened for you to start back in May? What happened to make you get evicted out your mama house in May? What made you get started again? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What triggered you? Because you have been saying a little bit throughout the years, but it never got this big. It didn't get this big even when you bought it to the beef sector years and years ago. Why escalate it now? Nothing's changed except you tried to go back and get baptized again at the church. You rejoined the church and all of that. What happened, Catherine? Why now? Or, like I said, it's a girl in the Beast Mo 3 set that wrote a book. It didn't take her that long. If you're gonna be an author and put your book out, I suggest you go on and do it now because you're not getting any younger. You know, and the information, if you did get it, that church your computer, you know who you handed it to. Why haven't you asked that person that you handed your computer and your notebooks and things like that to? Why come you haven't asked that person to give it back to you because you did not hand it to the pastor? He might not have never got it. You need to ask the person that you gave that shit to and quit holding that over his head because you don't know if he actually got it. You don't know if he actually looked at this to steal your ideas. And if your ideas is, why come you can't do something else with your ideas? Make them was your ideas. You remember what you was doing. Why haven't you done it in all these years? All your ideas wasn't in that book and in that computer, and you had to give them your login to get in your computer. You're not thinking about this, all these little issues. You know, it's not making sense. I'm just trying to break it down as plain as possible. Why would you get him your laptop? Why? It's no reason. You say if you gave it to them for safekeeping, why you can't keep up with your own laptop? Why you can't keep up with your own notebooks? Why you didn't take them and put them in your mama house? You been in and out of there. Why would you give it to one of them people at that church? That don't sound right. It ain't making no sense, Catherine. And even if you did get him your laptop, why would you get him your login information? That don't make no sense. It make sense. You know, what you said it ain't making no sense. Um, and Catherine and Cruz a bit into it. But I heard through the grapevine that they made back up. But then I heard they fell out again. Now I don't know how true that is. And then she was saying that she had went like to the church picnic, because you know the churches have picnics in the summer like my church do. We have a church picnic. Well, the church had a picnic in 2016. Pastor Alan Waller, that man, she keep calling his name. She calling him too. She don't be referring to him a lot as pastor. Um, they had a. She went to the church picnic in 2016, and she was asked to leave. So she keep going around these church people, and they have been saying the same thing, to leave. Why do you keep going back? You know, eh, you're. I just don't get it. Why do you keep going back, and why do you get mad when they tell you to leave? I don't have to. I don't have to get put out of place 10,000 times. I don't care what kind of church they build. They in which it's good when churches build because they let you know that they flock has grown and stuff like that. That's a plus for any church. But if I got put out the little bitty church, when they move to the next church, that don't mean I could go to that new church. That's still going the same put out. That's the way I feel. But evidently Catherine don't feel that way. Catherine thinks she can still go to church picnic like you went in 2016. It's 2026. So if they have a church picnic this summer, are you going? Are you going so you can get put out? I'm sure that church have a church picnic every year. And if you was put out in 2016, I'm sure you're not going to be welcome in 226. That's as plain as I can get it, Catherine. Don't go to the church picnics anymore. Just because it's a different year, the rule remain the same. The people do not want you at a church picnic. They have made it clear they do not want you in their baptism. They don't want your membership. So stop going to the church and trying to dedicate yourself. They don't want you there. Now, I'm sure if you want to continue in that religion, I don't know what religion it is and I don't want to know. I'm sure there's other churches in your city that's in that religion. Like if it's Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, whatever. Like where I live, it's not just one Baptist church or one Pentecostal church or one Church of Christ. It's several. Okay? So just find you another one. You can keep being the same religion. You could you could be in the same doctrine, but you just ain't at that church. But it's the same. Just like steak. Like you go to Kroger's and get steaks, you might. Well, I may not want Kroger steak. I shop at Harvest Food. Okay, but it's still steak. I'm breaking it down as easy as I can to you, Cap. Go to another store. Don't go to Kroger's anymore. Go to Harvest Food from now on. Okay? They still both on grocery stores, but it's still meat, okay? So, like I said, leave them people alone. Let's see what else you put down here. Okay. You also said, now this is a big no. I don't know why you would do this. You accused that pastor's wife of human trafficking. You said that in a live the other day. You set that up on somebody panel. I can't remember whose panel it was, but I made a note of that. that you said that that pastor wife was a human trafficking. She had like a human trafficking ring out of that church. Now that was a big. That was so wrong, Catherine. Why would you say something like that? And it was. I made a note of this that you have been in and out your mama house. You know, since in 2016 to now, it's been in and out, in and out. And the reason that you said that like on one of these panels you was on, you said that your problem originated with the church is because you asked them for $400 and they did not give it to you. That's what started all this bullshit. You was talking about how the church gave money to people in other countries, and why come they couldn't give you that $400? But now it went from $400, and now you're demanding that the church give you a house and that you pick the house out. Now, Catherine, be for fucking real. Be for fucking real. Okay. Then today, now before you were saying you was estranged, like from your mom and your two children, your sons. Well, today you said that you are estranged, like just with concerning your children, that you talk to one of your sons and the other one you don't. And you say that like wherever you're at that rehab, you said that it's 8 hours from where your son stay. I don't know if it's the son that's married or the one that live with your mama. I don't know. So you 8 hours away from where your mama house was. See, that ain't making sense. Because if you 8 hours, he 8 hours away, and he was, that must be your married son, because your son that when you was living with your at your mama house, and your son that lived with her, the hospital, the rehab ain't no 8 hours from where your mama live. So that ain't right. So like the son that lived with your mama, is that the one you're estranged from? I'm trying to just make it make sense. Because like I said, I'm sure your hospital is not no 8 hours away from your mama house. So that son that you trying to get to order that food for you today, and you said the internet was messed up. I don't see what's so hard to order a salad, because you said you wanted a salad. Why you couldn't get it DoorDash or Uber? Why you got to miss call your son and this and that? Why you got to do all that bullshit when you could order Uber or salad and they could bring it to you from whatever restaurant you choose? I don't know why you over there talking about you hungry and all that goddamn shit, because you say you got money in the motherfucking bank and you said you got money on your goddamn cash app. There's no reason for you to be sitting over there hungry. And plus, they got a kitchen. They got snacks and stuff. They got snacks and stuff at the nurses station, like sandwiches, because some people have uh might be diabetic and they might give them a half of a sandwich at night or whatever. But you sitting over there hungry because you want to be over there hungry, because they got uh applesauce at the nurses station. They got crackers and cheese, crackers and peanut butter. little bitty sandwiches like cut in half, chips. All you gotta do is ask for that shit. You complain about everything, and you just need to straighten up and fly right, girl. Cause life ain't your life ain't life. Okay, now I'm going to Lemon. Lemon has been having problems. He said he's like mentally, um, he's stressed out. He's he's emotional about a lot of stuff, and he was very upset last night. Over in the wee hours of the morning, he went live. He was really upset because Ness and Shakim have allegedly made up, and he was like, "Really, Ness? I can't believe it." And he went on and on and on for hours. Different people got up there and tried to sell him down, but he was cussing folks out. It was a mess. And then he was saying he was like mental. It was like he really like burnt out. Binary, he tried to get up there talking off the edge. Lemon was drunk and he was getting drunker throughout the night. Shelly had got up there because Lemon somebody said that she was mad at him, drug him or something. And she got up there and said, Lemon, I didn't do such a thing. That didn't happen. And every couple of months he do Shelly like that, and she's gonna get tired of that shit, Lemon, because she keep telling you if she got a problem with you, she will let you know. And she babied you last night. She talked you off the cliff too last night. You know, and why do you come on here when you upset? And talking about how you the one that keep the beef sector going, and I be going out here and I be getting on these panels, fighting everybody, and then I just can't take it no more, and all of this and all that. Lemon, log off. Ain't nobody can't nobody make you come on here. It was just, it was a mess over in the morning, y'all. But he been a mess. He been crashing, and it is what it is. Um, Take a couple of days off. You always say, "Well, I'm not coming back for a couple of days." Everybody on here take days off. All the content creators on YouTube, they take a couple of days off. But you want to be on here like 7 and 8 hours a day, and then hitting all these panels. When the fuck do you sleep? Iron wear out. Don't worry about what these people doing on here when you ain't on here. They these panels they're gonna go on. You don't have to get up there and cuss and act the fool and all that. If somebody else can get up there and do that, chill out. You act like people make you come on here and just if they send you money and say go live, hell, don't go live. There ain't nobody making you go live. I don't know how y'all go live every day. I couldn't do it. Y'all know I do a couple of lives a month, and that's a lot for me. Shit. That's why a lot of times, man, be so long because I don't do but a couple of lives a month. That's about all I could take. I ain't putting too much on my plate because I got a life. You know what I'm saying? I got I got have things to do in places people to see in the real world, and I have shit going on, and I just can't see being on here. But ain't nothing wrong with being on here if that's what you want to do. But don't bitch and complain and whine and all of that. And I'm the number one, and And why y'all? No, don't nobody want to hear that shit. And last night was one of them nights for him. He got in his feelings because the main issue was Ness made up with Shaquille. That's it. That's all. And he was hurt in his feelings. He is so hurt. But Ness is she might like Shaquille. She might miss him. They act like they was happy to be on the panel together. They got along. It was cordial. You was even up there, but you got mad because that's why he mad, y'all. He mad because Ness made up with Shaquille. You know, it is what it is. But Shaquille, he need Ness because his numbers have dropped a lot. Because when Ness moved away from him, her people moved away from him. They didn't stay with Shaquille. Some of them did, but the majority of Ness people, they exited stage left when Ness exited stage left. Same thing with Pizarro. When Pizarro quit fooling with Shaquille, her people left. Some people stayed, but most of them people went back with Pizarro. Same thing with Lemon. It is what it is. And it's a reason for Ness and Shaquille why they made up. And if Shaquille doxed everybody in his family, talked about her child, talked about her, all that. Ness know exactly what Shaquille did to her. If she willing to accept him back, that's on her. If he do it to her again, that's on her. She's making a decision. It's strategic. Whatever she's doing, because Ness is not a dummy, and she don't need Shaquille. It's a reason for her taking Shaquille back into her, to have access to her. And Lemon, you, she might not have shared it with you, but that ain't none of your business. And you shouldn't be mad at her. You shouldn't be in your feelings and all of that. You got your own channel to work with, and she got her own channel. It's a reason for whatever's going on right now. You know, you got to just bear with it. And you might feel like she went back on her word not to take Shakim back, but you went back on your word on different content creators that you took back. ZX, Audio, Vic, just to name a few. So your track record ain't no better than this. You know, and this could take. She could forgive who she want to forgive. It ain't nothing to do with you. You know, um, if you can't play in the playpen with Shakim, just stay out of it. And the playpen is this channel, because Shakim is gonna be over there now. It is what it is. So Shakim, honey, him and Ness made back up. So that'll be another place to go, and it's gonna be some new storylines. You know, ain't no telling what him and Ness will get stirred up, child. Let me see. Yeah, he kept saying stuff about his mental, that if YouTube was like getting too much for him. That's what it was looking like last night. but he can't stay off of YouTube. Like I said, he even when he not live, after doing a long live, he study hitting panels all day. Different panels, different lives, in different sectors and stuff. He be everywhere. But and like I said, anybody would get burnt out. And I'm sure anything will put him on the edge, because you just can't drag all around it. Just every day, all around the clock, drag people your whole life, then hitting panels, dragging. That'll burn anybody out. And see, a lot of you content creators, they don't hit a lot of links. Like Pastor, he don't hit a bunch of links. Now Pizarro do, but when she get tired of shit, Pizarro take off. It is what it is. You'll figure out how many days you could take of going live on YouTube. Lily, you might just need to go live 4 days a week. You might not need to go 5 days or 6 days. I seen you go like 13 days and stuff, not take a break. That's a lot. Upward like 14 days. That's a whole lot of dragging and hitting panels and shit and doing your lives. That's too much. YouTube is gonna run just fine if you take off a couple of days. You know, and just I would just I ain't gonna say you do what you want to do, but like I said, I'm one person. I know I can't do this shit every day, and I don't be dragging. I ain't been dragging since the purge. I couldn't do that shit every day. I ain't gonna try it. Okay, but yeah, he was drunk last night, and him and Rico they kept getting into it, and they was wishing death on each other and telling each other they was dying, and it was a damn mess. And Rico would go down and he'd stay down 30 or 40 minutes. He'd come back and they go heads up again. I think they enjoyed themselves though. You know, I think they had fun doing that because they wasn't really like mad, but they were just saying a lot of just bad things to each other. But I think that, you know, I think they doing it in banter. I don't think that they mean it and stuff. Okay, now Pastor been going live, and okay, now some kind of way it got out that Catherine had emailed Pastor about her being homeless. Okay, uh, now we didn't know. Now I hadn't heard nothing about no homeless. Uh, that shit came up like I think the day before. Pizza was raising when people was donating to Catherine when they found out she was hungry. I found out the lady was hungry, homeless the night before. Well, Catherine let it be known on some of these panels that she was on that she had emailed the pastor and told him she was homeless. But pastor was saying he get emails all the time, which I don't keep up with my emails. I could see him missing it. But another thing, like when Catherine emailed Pastor out throughout all the years of them having a YouTube relationship, she been emailing him for years, and when she emailed him, it'd be like page after page, of email. One email might be just too much, and he say he's not gonna sit up and read all that shit. I don't blame him. I was scanning through it, maybe not, you know, but Like my emails be full, but I don't email people on YouTube. Like I don't do that. But see, some of the content creators, they do be getting emails from different people. And I'm sure you could miss something. Because like I said, I don't read all my shit. So I know you getting your regular emails, then you getting this bullshit. That's a lot of stuff. And then like Pastor was saying, her emails be extremely long. And he have said that throughout the years too, you know. So I could understand that he didn't know, you know. Um, and then I'm sure there'd be a lot of stuff in the emails that he don't want to know about everything that happened in her day. Some people can be a nuisance, and you don't want to tell them they're a nuisance. I've seen that. Okay, now Brian, he said he was on Pastors one day, and he was saying that Catherine had been calling him homeless like in the past, and he said, "Look at her, she's homeless." And he said, "How was she calling him homeless when she been homeless throughout all these years?" And then she was talking about him being in the hospital, and he said, "Look at her, she's in the hospital." And so he was just saying you kind of have to be careful on people because it might roll back on you. And it happens. She had said one time, she used to call Dovey one titty and you chemotherapy and the cancer and talking about Dovey like that. Well, when she got it, she said, "Look at this. It'll come right back on me." The same thing I talked about Dovey when I was dragging her throughout the years to come back to bite me. And that's how it is a lot of times. And it's not just in these sectors, in your real life. Because hell, life be life and child. I don't do no, real big on the health reads because we have no control over shit that can go on in our bodies. You know, anything can happen, you know. And so, kind of, the health reads is not a real good one because, like I said, it can come back on you. The older we get, the more stuff we're susceptible to. Like a young person, they don't be worried with a lot of stuff that I would have to worry about at my age. But then young people do have medical issues, but not as much as the older people. So you have to be kind of careful. Don't be talking about nobody having cancer because you don't know. It could be right down the street from you. It could be in your immediate future. So, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. Okay, and then they was him and Pastor and Brian was talking about Ness and Pastor, I think he said that Ness looked like I Dream of Pony. Like like I Dream of Pony instead of I Dream of Genie. I was hollering. And he blocked Ness again. Um and then he keep talking about she lying like she don't like coochie no more. And that was about it for their life. And haven't been keeping up with all the pastors' life because close to the holiday I be doing stuff, shopping and doing stuff like that. And so have not been being in the lives like I normally do, because was more active, with my life, with the forthcoming. Pizza, I went by hers. I haven't been on her much, But I went by hers, and her and Lemon was into it. And when I seen Lemon on her panel, I said, huh, I thought he would bow down until August the 1st. Well, Pisa was on her other channel because she got struck on her main channel and she was down for 7 days. So allegedly, that's how come he got to come on the panel because she wasn't on the channel. That he got bought down off of because you remember somebody bought him off until August the 1st for $550. But I guess that don't work. That he not out the backup channel. I guess that don't have no effect. Now, I don't know, but that's what it looked like. Cause I mean, when I seen him on the panel, I was saying, I thought he can't, and I was saying, well, I don't know. And Lemon and her was dragging each other because he was happy to be up on the panel, honey. And Diva and Lemon, they was having some words, and he was like, no, people miss Lemon when he was out or something like that. And Diva turned her attention on Ro. And so then allegedly, I think she's supposed to dox Ro. I don't know if she's gonna do his job or what, but Lemon was telling her not to bother Ro. But she was saying she was gonna get Ro. Hopefully she don't, cause Ro can't take a whole lot. Um, I know because I'm subscribed to Ro, but I used to be at Ro's all the time when he didn't have very many people in his lives. I know how he react on dragging. He dragged now, but see, like back in the day, Stump Down almost had him just crazy. Okay, cause Ro used to then drag and stuff. He used to want to say anything back. He, I can't remember what he did. Him and Stump Down fell out for, but Stump Down was dragging the hell out of Ro. He was picking at Ro, and Ro couldn't take it, child. He it was bad, but now he do drag Stump Down back, but I I don't want Deeper to do that to Ro, cause Ro need his job. Ro he have I've seen him just grow since he back in the day. I've seen him like struggle, like like furnishing your apartment. You know how you just start out and don't have anything, and I've seen him like build up what he have now. Okay, as far as things for your home, as far as your job, like getting promotions, like starting at the bottom and working yourself up. And I would hate for Diva to uh, do anything to his employment. Because, like I said, he went from ground level and he been getting promotions. I'm promoted. Y'all I got promoted to this, or y'all this and that. And I'm over such and such. And, he's so proud of himself. And it would crush him, Diva, if you listening. If you do contact his job with any kind of negative stuff, or if he lose his job, it will like destroy him. And just I hopefully you leave the boy alone, because I have seen him like have like little or nothing to where he was able to buy bigger things for his apartment, better things for his apartment, you know. And I just don't want you to do nothing to him. He couldn't take it, okay? And everybody don't bounce right back from stuff. it might destroy him if he lose his job. Because I don't know where he live and don't want to know, and I don't know about how the job market is there. I don't know. And he seemed to like his job, and there's a lot of people that don't like their job, you know. And so I hope you don't mess with him because he didn't do nothing like that, you know. He didn't do nothing like that for you to get mad at him and just go after him. To me, he didn't do nothing like severe. And and even if you was talking to Lemon and he interrupted, but people interrupt on YouTube every day. They interrupt conversations, or a person might not feel like they don't want to hear about what you talking about. They want to talk about what they want to talk about. I see it every day on YouTube. And Ro do ask questions when people be talking to each other or dragging each other. Ro will ask questions. Well, I don't get it. Why are you too into it? And you might think it's awkward, but that's Ro. But that's what a lot of people on here. So, like I said, I don't think he did nothing uh, severe enough for him to lose his job or for him to be getting doxxed. It ain't that serious, not to me. Okay. Um. Um. Rico and Audio was on Pieces one day, and they got into you know. And one thing that Rico made known, I don't know if it was at Lemons or Pizarro, that he moved his mama out to New York. And I'm glad to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. And he got her out there with him, and I'm thinking that's good. Another thing that happened, Kiki was drunk, the girl Kiki, and she pulled her titty out over there at Pizarro. And Pizarro had to get rid of that lie. And then now the day before the titty thing, the day before Octavius and that Kiki and her new boyfriend, they got into it over there. And Octavius was calling her a fag, and he used the fag word over and over and over again. And Pizarro had to get rid of that lie. And then the next day, Kiki came back over there, and her titty come out. And Pizarro had to get rid of that lie. And them was some good lives, but I think Pizarro said she was gonna cut that part out, but I don't know. I hadn't I hadn't looked back. The only person I've been looking back on to see if they put any lives back up was Lemon, because that live, it was a real bad live he did about 3 weeks ago, and he was dragging Pizarro, Rico. I mean, he was going to the gutter. It was one of them. He was dragging. He was crying on that video. Uh, that was the video. It come out when he done started back drinking on, but that video is gone. And then the video when they was into it with like Big Dot, her her friend and her husband, that lab is gone. So it's lives that are have been taken down that I've been wanting to watch. I missed either the whole lives or I seen portions of the lives. And that's how I know the way I know they was gone is because I remember watching them and I said I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of that. Or either I was in the lab when it got stopped and I wanted to see the parts I missed. Because see, Lemon never did put them lives back up. And I had been checking on that, but on Pizarro I haven't checked to see if she cut the bad parts of her lives that she had. had to take down if she put them back up. Now I don't know who struck Pizarro. Um, I don't have a I don't know, but it might be people might be saying who struck her, but if they are saying it, I'm missing it. I'm missing the lives. So I don't know. Um, but she shouldn't have that many days left, so she should be going back live soon. And I had made a note. J Dunn was mad at everybody because she was into it with Nika Audio, and I can't I didn't make a note of where I was at. I think it started at Pizarro. I think it was the day when Catherine was, when Pizarro was letting her drop her cash out for people to send them her some assistance to. And Jay Dunn was hitting the panel going up there, but she was saying little sly stuff, little slick stuff. And so Pizarro stopped letting her get up. Because, Jay Dunn was in one of her pick me modes. And I think she had been in that pick, how you pick on people. She had started to at the Miss O's. She was just moving around and picking a little bit of where she was going, and then she went live and started dragging. And I enjoyed that because I knew Jay Dunn was gonna go live and drag, and that's what she did. But I don't go to Jay Dunn's a whole lot, but when you've been on YouTube as long as we have, we can kind of tell when a person doing what they doing. Okay. Ooh, child, Jay Dunn is a mess. Like I said, I used to didn't like Jay Dunn at all, but I'm growing more fond of her because I get her. And like everybody was saying, a lot of people were saying that Jay Dunn struck Pizarro, and Pizarro, Jay Dunn was saying, "No, I didn't strike her. And if I would have struck her, I would have put it on my community wall. And plus, I have one. Uh, I'm zeroed in on one person and one person only, and that's Lemon. I be hollering when she say that. She said, I ain't studying about doing nothing to nobody page except Lemon. Okay? So y'all can keep that to y'all self. And then, like she said, if I do strike somebody, I'll put it on my community wall because I want everybody to know. Okay? And I say, get out, J Don. keep her out of it. Okay, now um, that's all I have on the beef sector. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Mo3 sector, and then I'm gonna get the hell off of here. Mahaya, he have been live. Cupcake, Gas Man, Josh, 88, CB and her husband, and Bato was on there one day. Well, since the last time I went live, um, I was telling you guys that CB was gonna get married. Well, child, she did get married. Now I have not seen the video of them, saying their vows or whatever. I've heard things about it. I don't, but wherever it is on YouTube, I haven't had time to go see it. Like I said, I will see the picture sooner or later, but I just didn't want to follow the story that close. The best action that I'm seeing is the aftermath of the wedding. Like the next day after she got married, she went live, and her sister was live. One of them was on the other one panel, and they was talking, um, and different people had said a lot of things about CB and her husband, and the YouTube gossip, and the word out on the streets that was that her husband and her dad was in prison together. That was the word that was out here on the streets. Um, Josh had been making his rounds. Um, and CB and him been bumping heads. I don't understand why they even still into it, but when you have feelings involved, like emotional, I guess calling yourself dating. But they was living together, CB and him, and she just left him and said, "I'm getting married on the 28th," and that's what she did. Um, Josh, he trying to act like he's not hurt, but I know Josh is hurt because he was crazy about CB. You know, uh, he act like he hurt, but on the day of her wedding, after she got married, he had texted her, and in so many words, he was telling her, congratulations on your marriage and blah blah blah. Now he could take care of like emotionally, financially, and all this and all that. And I can't think of what he said. It was a sly remark at the end of his text to her, like so many words: "kick rocks," "keep my name out your mouth." You know, that's what it boiled down to. He didn't see no offense in that. Well, that's why CB went live because she was saying that. I don't see why he texted the girl on. That's your ex, and that's her wedding day. So I don't understand why an ex would be getting in touch with you on your wedding day. I don't even want a congratulations to me from my ex if I'm getting married. But to each his own. Well, she read the text on YouTube, and he didn't really care for that. And then him and the new husband, they was getting into it. And I was saying, this is some bullshit. They ain't got no reason to be into it. If you say you're not hurt, just leave her alone and she leave you alone. All right, well, of course, different people was telling CB what different people on YouTube was saying about her and her marriage. Let me go down. Uh, CB on her live, the live that she did the day after she got married, she drug Isha, Transparent Talk, let's see, and 88 is CB's sister. And so when 88 was seeing about what was going on YouTube concerning her sister, what different people were saying on these panels, well, she come out dragging, and she was dragging Transparent Talk, Peaches, Isha, SD, you know, Sin City, and so 88 was she showed off her stripper pole, and she said that Sin had mocked her in her bathroom. Uh, wait a minute. Oh, Sin was talking about and she was saying that Isha took baths in dishwashing liquid, just a lot of stuff. And 88 was telling them to meet her outside because she was gonna beat up Isha and different ones. And she was saying that none of them hoes were gonna come outside and fight. Um, then she's TT was laughing at the same time, and they was talking about how they would whoop 88 ass. And so 88 got up and put her clothes on and ready to fight, but didn't nothing happen. Uh, 88 was saying it Peaches bleaches her skin, and she said that each looked like Michael Jackson. And she also said that Peaches had a TikTok check that she was showing that she had got $5,000, and she was saying that check was fake. And I don't know if it's fake or not, because I don't know I mean, not Isha Peaches make on TikTok. I don't know nothing about it. And she was saying that for Peaches to keep her wig on because she got alopecia. Now I don't know nothing about what Peaches got, what Peaches got under her wig, but I do know she do wear extensions and wigs, you know. And like I said, drug Isha and TT. She was telling TT old, and she was talking about Isha downstairs. You know, her coochie cat and all that kind of stuff. Jade popped out. You know, SDX. She popped out, and Hun. You know, it was on 357th, and SD got into it. Uh, Jackie drug Mia, trapping and capping, and Isha, and Isha. Uh, Her and Isha was supposed to meet up and fight the other day. I did a short about it and told everybody, "Hey, you want to see this pull up? Come on over here, 357." But Isha, she punk faked like she was gonna do it. She was in her car. She went back to work, y'all. She didn't even come to fight. But Jackie went to the meetup spot, and Jackie sit out there. I know about an hour. But Jackie did show up, but Isha didn't. Um, Lady A been getting bought out the chat. Whoever is shooting at her, they don't even want her in Broadway chat. They buy her out for like $25. Uh, and Jay got bought down because the people got tired of her into it with SD and Cam. Oh, y'all, Mr. Houston, Isha ex-husband. He was on the rampage the other night, and the night looked like it wasn't gonna never end. He hit that pallet. He was drinking, and he was calling people out to fight, and he mad at Isha because he got to pay like $600 or $700 a month in child support. Now he denying that he the daddy of Isha's son and Isha and his son. And on the divorce decree now, Isha put this out. I seen it uh, when they was going through their divorce. Where he wasn't showing up to the divorce court. Well, the proceedings, they'll give you so many times not to show up, and then the judge will grant you the divorce. You don't have to sign off, but the judge is gonna grant the shit. Uh, well, he got to the last stage because he kept being a no show, and so the judge did on this final decree. He put on there, look, if you, in so many words, if you deny the paternity of this child, you need to let us know, get this DNA test out the way, and get this divorce finalized. Uh, Isha was asking for like child support in divorce, and he say she was asking for spousal support. Well, a lot of states don't have the spousal support, but the states that do have it, you only gonna get it for so long, and they calculate that kind of stuff. Okay. Well, she had different things like, I guess, like medicine for the kid and all that kind of stuff. Everything was in the decree that she needed. Well, he didn't show up to court, and then he did not dispute the child support, and he did not dispute the judge, the divorce. What he did was the paperwork, that decree that the judge sent him, he signed that and sent it back to the courts. So when that court date came, everything was there. He chose not to get the DNA test. He signed the papers and sent them back into the court where the judge set the child support amount, you know, the amount he had to pay every month. And that divorce was over. Well, now he gonna wait. He done paid a couple of child support checks. He gonna come on here drunk the other night, talking about his woman that he got now. Like every time he get paid, that she upset because that's money taken out of their household for a baby that he say ain't his. Well, he could have filed all that shit in the divorce decree a couple of months ago. All that could have got taken care of. He chose not to go to the courts and tell them, I I want a DNA test. He signed them goddamn papers. That this, in so many words, you sign that this your kid. So this gonna be your kid until he get grown, and you gonna have to pay that child support. Well, he was whining like a hoe over that, and the more he talked, the worse it sound on him. Because he was saying, yeah, he effed with people the whole time they was married. Uh, I never gave Isha no money. I I never gave her no money for the kid. I never gave her no money for the bills. He was just talking, and it just made him look like the scum of the earth. The more he talked, the stupider he looked. And and Isha just stayed in the chat. He was calling her bitches. He talked about her under her clothes. He talked about how he didn't give her no money, and everything, and how many jobs she had, because she is a working woman, and she a woman that I'm gonna work, do these, have what I got to do, so I can be comfortable with my children. I don't see nothing wrong with that. With her doing what she got to be doing as an adult. Even though you had this sorry ass husband, my bills got to be paid. I still want to drive nice cars. I want to do this and I want to do that. She was working like at the airport. She worked like at a reception at a hotel. She worked. Did I say the airport? She worked. She got just she doing what it takes to have a car, a house, furniture, utilities, buying clothes for your children, medications, things like that. Because she got like small children at home, and she got a grown son though. I think she got a little girl, a grown son. I don't even know if her son is 20 yet. And then she got a little girl, and then she got this little boy with Mr. Houston, which was her husband. But the little boy have a heart issue, and and then he got something else wrong with him. He one of them children that take a whole lot of care. He got heart problems, gonna have that the rest of his life. And keep him up on his appointments and medications and stuff, he'll be okay. And she got to deal with that. And then he don't spend time with the child. And now he mad because he got to pay child support. Now the boy about two, something like that. Well, she done went all this time without this nigga getting no money, and now he done paid a couple of child support checks, and he got a problem with that because it's going against the household, the income that he had coming into the household with him and this other woman, I wouldn't worry about that. That's their goddamn business. I wouldn't care if he wants her to drop that child support. I would not drop my child support. I got the child. Um, and I give him to me. I'll take it. I wouldn't dare get my child in her the court divorce decree. She got it in there that he have to have like he can have like an hour with the child because he's a smoker. He smokes cigarettes, and she don't want that around him because he got heart issues and all of that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. You ain't been spending time with my child. Now you want me to give you my child? No, I'm gonna get this in my divorce decree. We're gonna start off with an hour of supervised to make sure you can't smoke. And how I want to see how you interact with my child. You know, whoever the people is that's over the child support part, how you interact with that child and report, and then he'll get to keep it longer. I don't see nothing wrong with doing it like that. Especially if the daddy ain't never been getting a kid, why not? I want to make sure my kid is gonna be okay with his daddy. And he got to take these medications. I want to make sure that he can do this. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. Um, he mad because of that. And he want her to give him the child, which I wouldn't give my goddamn baby. You ain't been want to spend no time with. I wouldn't dare give him my child. I would not sign off on the child support. That's for the kid. Get that to the kid. But see, her boyfriend said that he was using the child support money to get him some 24, and that's some kind of tires or some rims or something for his car. But he said he didn't really mean that, but he did that to piss Mr. Houston off. But it ain't like he done paid a whole bunch of checks because they just got divorced. So she might have got one or two checks, and he mad about that. So he may as well get over it. He got to pay that child support till the kid get grown, and just hey, it is what it is. And I don't, you know, and like I said, if he didn't want a divorce or he didn't agree with the decree, he had a chance to go to court. And now he's fussing because if he get a lawyer, he talking about it costs $7,600, and don't nobody give a fuck. It'd have been worth paying that 600 so you don't got to pay child support to get the kid ain't yours. So you ain't got to pay child support to get grown. Don't you think it would have been worth that getting a lawyer? He could have got a little piece. You ain't got to have the best lawyer in the world for a divorce. Crowd will spill milk on court. When you don't show up, you got the judgment is the judgment. You know. So that's it on that. So I got so sick of that man. And then he was calling Cam out, and he been calling Cam out for a couple of months. But Cam said he didn't know Mr. Houston was looking for him. He was saying, "But here I go, you know, here I go." And he was telling me hit his link the other day. Cam was. I love going over there to Cam. He is so ignorant. He's so funny, and he be saying, "Y'all know I'm y'all favorite content creator. I got all the content and all this here, and I keep y'all entertained," which he do from the beginning of his show to the end. He'll have you laughing and stuff, and he drags in a funny way, comedic. That's why I like Cam. But and he was telling me, he said Miss Houston ain't gonna do shit to him. And he said he didn't know that you had smoke for him. He said you ain't been looking for him because he easy to find. And he said now that he know that you got some smoke, he said he wherever he see you at, Mr. Houston, he about that alive. And he was saying that you was showing out for 357, Mr. Houston. And Mr. Houston, he say you skinny and you got a pot belly. He said you remember y'all. He seen you before. And he said he'll beat the hell out of your unproviding ass, Mr. Houston. And he say he'll beat every penny that you owe Isha out of you, Mr. Houston. And he say you were talking about how about Isha downstairs, her cootie cat. He say he bet your thing look like it got Star Crunch. He said he bet your ding ding look like Star Crunch on it. And Cam said that he hit. Now I missed this. He said he hit my hair panel one day, and he said that he would ask my hair, "Where that bitch ass nigga at?" And SD was on the panel, and SD said, I guess you must be looking for me." Woo, child. And he started dragging SD. He was calling SD a bloody booty bus driver. And he was saying that he was letting them people at the hospital play in his ass with a smile on his face. He said SD want love and acceptance. And he said that SD was paying bitches bills and he was getting played to the left, to the left. He called SD a fake ass Hebrew light, a fake ass Hebrew light. And then he started dragging Mink. And he said he wasn't gonna let her come over there and mess his channel up. He said he didn't need her over there. He said he monetized and he got memberships going over there. And he said he wasn't gonna let Mink and nobody else mess up his channel. And he said if he's gonna be on YouTube, he's gonna get paid. And now he's also on Twitch too. He's monetized on there. And he said he's not gonna let her and nobody else mess that up. And I don't blame him. If a person got membership and cash apps coming through, super chats and stuff, they would be a fool to let a person mess that up. You know how you people get their pages struck and be down 7 days, or you lose your monetization. They say it's hard to get back when you lose it. I think you have to wait like 90 days or something like that. And so he said he ain't letting nobody mess that up. And I don't blame him. You know, I understand. And like he said, this is a business. He said that he tired of being fake with people. Um, they anybody can hit his link, but he said, but you're gonna have to act right. And it is what it is. And like a lot of times, you be too lenient um, with people on here, they will take your channel. They will like expose parts on the titties or the ding dings and stuff. People don't have time for that, you know. And if if you want to pull your titty out, go do it on your channel, you know, or your ding ding out or whatever, or your booty. Go to your channel and do it. Why you got to do it on this channel that's got a lot of people over here at the time? Because they don't do that on little bitty channels very seldom. When they do stuff like that, it's when you Like when pizza got a good sized crowd, or lemon, Mahia, or 357, that's when that bullshit getting started. And so now what the content creators have smartened up, um, more so in the Mo 3 sector than in the B sector, they don't quit letting them come on a panel, or if they up there, the panel stay up the whole time, and or if they think they getting ready to do something stupid, they'll drop them, you know. So I don't see nothing wrong with doing that to protect your channel. You know, you have to do what you got to do. If you get struck every time this person come over here, that's your problem. Every time this person come around my panel, I wind up getting struck the next day or that day. It's a pattern. They'll figure it out. You'll figure it out sooner or later. But every time this person keep up with it. You'll be able to tell who's striking you a lot of times. But sometimes you don't never figure it out. But sometimes it's not that hard to figure out who's striking you, okay? Now I've gotten through with my commentary. If y'all like to, send me a cash app, there's my cash app. I forgot to put the money sign on there. MONE $ MONETX 4059. But y'all, the main thing I talked about on my live, the reason I went live tonight, because I was not going live, was sitting over there watching that damn Catherine. Yeah, Catherine Powell. And like I said, it was just like in the background. I was up doing different things, and when she said that her mama poisoned her child, my mouth flew wide open, and I listened to her, and that's when I come over here and hit my goddamn live button. Cause that was the biggest lie ever told. I don't believe her mama did that. Catherine, you lied on your mama. Now I don't want to believe that you poisoned your child. I want to believe that the child got accidentally poisoned and your children got taken from you. Now I don't know how long they was gone or anything like that, but like when your child like accidentally poisoning, cause it do happen sometimes. You don't hear about it a whole lot now because they have made the chemicals that we have, like antifreeze, uh, chemicals that you have under your sink. They done made them taste so bad that the kid don't really get to ingest it, and that stops a lot of the suicides. They did that for the grown ups too, not just the kids. Okay, they made the stuff so nasty that you don't really won't keep it down. Um, Another thing, like on a lot of some of the real toxic cleaners that you have, um, they when you see them in a red container, that means it's highly poisoned. But they want you to know, hey, this red container, that mean poison. Okay, they have did so many different things now to make people aware of stuff, and you know, and like I say, make it taste so bad and all that you can taste it in your food or whatever. The poisoning is not as easy as it used to be back in the day. But honey, when she said that shit and blamed it on her mama, I was through. And like I said, if your mother was a poisoner, why would you still be living with your mama and you just got put out in May? And why would your son still be over there with your mama? Because I couldn't stay in the house with my mama if she poisoned my kids because she's a poisoner. I wouldn't eat the got. She couldn't give me nothing to drink. I wouldn't eat off her dishes or nothing. Catherine, that's the biggest lie. You need to quit lying on your goddamn mama. Your mama put you out. She had you emergency kicked out of her house. The police come and got put you out because your mama you was doing some form of abuse to her. That's how she got that emergency eviction. I don't give a damn what other name you call it. But when you get put out, that's an eviction. You cannot go back in your mom's presence until December of 2026. So you need to quit lying on your mama like she poisoned your child. But like I say, your son wouldn't be living with her now. He's an adult. And if she did that, he wouldn't be living with her because somebody would have said, that woman crazy. She tried to kill her kids. No, that woman didn't do that. I believe that child accidentally got into some stuff. And you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It was some questions around what happened why this child got poisoned. And like another thing, I told you to keep your motherfucking mouth shut because every time you open your shit up on these panels, you putting out more shit on yourself. And you giving the beef sector 5,900 bullets to shoot at your ass because you getting up here saying all this kind of bullshit and you gonna make these people dig all up in your business. Now you done told the people to go, y'all pull it up, y'all can find it out. Yeah, my kids was in the system because of a pause. My mama poisoned my kid. Now you done told them where to go to the courts to see when your kids got to, and it's gonna be in that court document exactly what happened, and it's finna come out on the beef sector. It is what it is. That's just the way the damn sector works. So I don't know what more you said after I left there, but you have my mouth just flew open. I'm serious. I said what? And that's why I came and went live and put on here. Wait a minute, exclusive. Wait a minute. They took your kids for what? And I was saying, damn. But Catherine, you need to stay off the goddamn panel. And I can't tell you what to do on your channel, but that shit you dropped tonight, it blew me away. I ain't gonna never look at. Well, like I said, I don't know you. And like I said, I don't care if you never like me. I don't give a damn because I don't know you and you don't know me. We all in different states. I don't know nothing about. Ain't none of my friends. I don't know no. This is YouTube, and these people tell too much of their goddamn business. You know. Mm-mm. And then get mad when people talk about it. You know. I don't. Mm-mm. I'm like Lemonade. You know, and I hate when he be doing no whatever that is they be doing. Whatever that is he be doing. Well, no, no, That's how, honey, I'm doing like this. Ooh, Lord. Y'all, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I hope I gave y'all enough entertainment tonight. Let me make sure I spoke to everybody. Uh, hey, Vibrant. Thank you for modding for me, Vibrant. I really do appreciate you. You usually come by every time I uh come on, and I really do appreciate you. And I appreciate Unfiltered. Both of those two mods, they always come. Now I have other mods, but people have lives. But these two, they come. And Vibrant is here damn near every time. And I see Vibrant modding all over YouTube. I don't know how Vibrant do it. I don't think I'm gonna be around moving around on YouTube, for as much as I normally do, because I be kind of tired. Hey, Pimp Tight, I seen eyes on the prize earlier. I don't know if I get to speak to them. Beauty. I don't want to miss people, but I be getting off and trying to get off what I got to say, child. I be trying to get it off, child. Yeah. I watched some of him. He been into it with Rico. And he been into it. Some people they don't want him to be going in honest row, but him and honest row, one of them stop, the other one will start. Then this one will stop and the other one, it's back and forth. Like Lemon and Rico was doing last night. Hey, Jinko. But yeah, some people that's how they get along. They can't stand each other, but they can't stand to be without each other. Some people just get along like that. Hey, SMH. Yeah, some people just get along like that. Yeah, Rico and Lemon, they were talking about you gonna die, and I wish you get, I was saying, damn. But to me, they was having fun after I quit tripping on the things they was saying. I back up there. And they started all over again. It would start right from the beginning, and they go through all the same. They were taking the same drags, and then they come back up again, and they be the same thing like a tape recorder. And I say they having fun. They ain't into it like this. You would think they were gonna kill each other. Yeah, you would think they were gonna kill each other. And they was loving being into it. And Brian showed now I heard about this. Brian showed Rico, he was outside on a live, like standing outside like by a fence. And he was talking about this and talking about that on the live. And this stranger came up and said something in another language, and he was all up in Rico's face. So whatever he was saying, he did he was letting Rico know you need to shut the fuck up in so many words. Well, Rico, I tell everybody, Rico might be a little bitty and look like he frail and stuff, but Rico will knock a person out. Cause I done seen him fight on here before, like walking down the street and fight a stranger. Like if they jump on him, he jump on them back and beat him up. And so that man jumped up at Rico's face, and Rico said, he was saying, I don't understand you or something like that. And the man would say something else. And then when that man came back, Rico said, blah, 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 blah. He was talking like another language. And he said, fuck that. I'll bust you in your motherfucking head. I'll kick your ass. And you better go find somebody else to play with, MF. And he was going off on it. That man went to sit down, left Rico the hell alone. Do you hear me? He might not have spoke English, but he got the goddamn idea that this man finna knock my ass out if I don't leave him alone. I done seen Rico, because he live in New York. I've seen him walking down the street and somebody come up to him like aggressively and talking shit. Rico would put his phone down, thump, and then get back on and continue with his life. Yep, I seen the person pull a knife on him and he beat him up. Rico ain't no punk. He gay, but Rico, he you could tell he be out in the streets because he will fight, you know. But if it's one of his lovers, he's not gonna hurt them. They gonna hurt him before he hurt them. But it's like as far as a stranger, no, he don't take nothing off of no stranger child. But I'm getting ready to step off, y'all. I was on here right at 3 hours, so I'm gonna just get out of here now. Ooh, child. I hope y'all had a happy 4th of July. Ooh, child. Y'all, there's some things you just need to leave. Keep to yourself. Keep it under your hat. You ain't got to tell all your business just because you on YouTube. Okay? Ooh, child. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.